Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Beginnings here. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Today I'll be playing some Thane. As you can see from this build, it's pretty situational. I just enjoy the 40% CDR. It means you can go ahead and push a lot with your first ability. Obviously, if they have more magic damage, you're going to go ahead and build Medallion of Troy rather than a Mail of Pain or Shield of the Lost. That's just kind of how it is. Like I've mentioned before, these builds are kind of just a general build. Always build to your situation. We know they have an arm, so I start on the same side as my jungle, but then we see her roaming into our red side. We're going to go ahead and collapse onto her. We do not want her stealing the red. Thane is pretty good at preventing arm from invading solo, so we just make sure the red resets. And we're going to sit here and watch the small camp and make sure that we can do the same thing. Unfortunately, Jinnar comes down here and does damage this camp quite a bit, so she almost gets it. But thankfully it resets, but they continue to damage it, so he is forced to take it instead of just letting it heal to full. Arm is still trying to push this red. I'm just going to wait for her to get into kind of an awkward position, but then we see Nakaroth come in and Ryoma, so I'm just going to go ahead and push all three of them, the Ryoma, the Nakaroth, and the red buff. We do secure the red buff. Our jungler does get it. Arduin collapses really nicely, manages to get knock up on both Arm and the Ryoma, and we're able to not only secure our red buff, but 2 kills in the process. That was a pretty good rotation by Arduin, but he does overstay quite a bit. You can see we get a little bit of chip damage on our top tower there. Yes, that is an Arduin dragon lane. Very interesting, haven't seen it in a while. We're just going to rotate up and kill this Talanis because she's overextended. You can see I predict her flicker pretty nicely there. Definitely saw that one coming. Feels bad for her. I'm sure she's pretty upset right now. Because their dragon laner is dead and we have hard priority over the top half of the map, we're just going to go ahead and secure dragon. As you can see, Arm wants to do damage to it, but she doesn't really achieve much. We're just going to make sure she can't contest it whatsoever. We're not going to commit to that. We're just going to go ahead and aggressively dash at her and back away. It's all intimidation tactics. Ryoma comes to clear the wave and instead takes a good 3/4 of its HP in return. I really wish the Zuka had just stayed bot and pushed, because that would have made this next play a little bit less awkward. You'll see we're camping for the Ryoma. We see he does come for the wave, and we do have 3 here, so we are going to dive this. I still have heal up. Unfortunately, missed my dash because he walks down, but he is still dead. I popped my heal because I wasn't sure if that tower damage was going to reset or not. It's pretty inconsistent. I've yet to figure out how it works exactly. We just helped him clear the wave, take bird. Zuka gets some tower damage. It's just after the tower damage reduction time. If you didn't know, before 3 minutes, Darkslayer lane takes like 50% reduced damage. Pretty OP, but it's just to prevent trades for dragon. Pretty smart implementation of that, actually, from Tencent. We did trade top tower for bot tower because our top laner died, but it's fine. We are ahead literally everywhere else on the map. Asuka comes in and one-shots that poor Preda. We're just going to go ahead and walk up and make sure that the Zuka does not get arm ulted or for any reason. Right now we're just kind of waiting. Our jungler is going to go ahead and farm. Our Zuka gets pretty caught out, but we're just going to go ahead and dive in, make sure he doesn't die. Ryoma does die in return. As you can see, it's 7-1 right now. The enemy team is in a rough spot. Our top lane is pushing in, so is our mid, but they rotated down. Definitely could have gotten some tower damage there, but it doesn't really matter. They are still forced to go answer that wave, and so we can definitely secure this dragon. Arduin's pretty good at zoning. We're just going to make sure we don't take any unnecessary damage from the dragon here. I'm going to walk up now because I know dragon's secured, and Arm's second ability is kind of invisible, so we do get tagged by it. Unfortunately, that Jinnar plus Arm is a bad time, and our Arduin just gets melted by our Jinnar's ult onto that Arm. Feels bad for him. I'm sure that wasn't how he saw that going. Zuko wants to camp the top side, but don't really think it's a good idea. Our jungler's entire jungle is up. I don't know what happened there. I forgot how to speak English. We're just going to go ahead and scout out the jungle right now. We're not really going to commit to anything because, like I said, our jungler does need to farm. We see 3 here, and we know Preda is also mid, so we're just going to go ahead and back out. Don't really want to commit to anything. I know Preda's in this bush. We're going to make sure that our Jinnar does not die. We're going to pop our Ring of the Fiend for the extra movement speed, throw our ult down just, I guess, for poke and zoning, and we do end up getting an assist on the Preda because he did get tagged by our ult. Because Preda died, because they were chunked, we do manage to get a mid tower. And now we see that the Talanis is extremely overextended. She is by herself. They do not have priority on this side of the map. Arduin goes ahead and flickers and knocks her up and kills her. He does die to the tower, which is unfortunate, but we will get this tower. Jinnar is just going to go ahead and tank it without any minions. He's crazy. But like I've mentioned in previous videos, Jinnar passive is really good at taking towers. He does a ton of magic damage to them. Their red buff respawns, and we're thinking about contesting. I pop my ring for the extra movement speed. We do get knocked up by the Nakroth, so we cannot push him. I think we actually stole it. Yeah, I think Violet has it. We're not going to commit to this tower because they have 3 here. We only have a cannon minion. I'm pretty low. I can't go in to tank that dive. We're just going to go ahead and make sure that our team can back out as safely as possible. We do start our recall, but Arm's pretty rude and interrupts it. So we're just going to go ahead and restart our recall. My jungler's entire jungle is up again, as you can see. I think he came to their red instead of doing his. So he really just needs to take blue, and then he'll go towards the bot side. Our top lane has managed to sort of equalize. It looks like Arduin is going back up. Jinnar helping him take that jungle camp. Pretty good idea, considering you want the enemy team to get as little gold as possible. We are setting up for Dragon. They really won't contest. They could do Darkslayer right now, but the fact that we see Preda show up mid is a good sign that they aren't. And there we see Talanis. Again, not on her side of the map. Bad idea on her front. She definitely should have been bot side. Nakroth is going to go ahead and try to split push. We're going to push forward to make sure that Preda does not clear this wave, so we are able to clear this dragon. Right now, I feel like we definitely should just back off. Zuka can take the bot tower, and we can just back up and take Darkslayer, but for some reason, we really want to commit to this. Even though we are all pretty chunked. You can see Zuka's about 3/4, I'm about half, so is Arduin. Or Arduin's less than half because he starts tanking the tower. And then Zuka jumps in and starts tanking the tower too. Don't really know why he killed himself. We definitely could have gotten that tower without him committing for that kill. Now we really need to reset. We have 1 down and 2 of us are low. Our jungler wants to go back to his blue. But Jinnar has other ideas. He does manage to pop his ult and get away, but for now we're just gonna go ahead and go back. We're doing a full reset. That means that nobody on our team right now should be on the enemy side of the jungle. We see Arm as at our red for some reason, so we're gonna definitely collapse on that. She is way out of position. She should not be here. So I don't think she actually dies to this, but she does take some pretty nice chunk. I'm actually not going to focus on the Arm. I'm going to focus on the Preda here. I don't know how Arm lived through that ult. Very interesting. She does walk up, and she must have lived with a sliver of HP because, I mean, she was so low. I want to do Darkslayer here because we see Ryoma is top and Nakroth was mid, and his red just respawned, so he's more than likely going to go towards that. Yes, we do see the Nakroth show up top to kill that Arduin, but he's not going to be able to do it because our Arduin is insanely tanky at this point in time. We're about 10 minutes in, we're about mid-game, and our Arduin has so much gold. I am low and I probably should reset, but I do have the Darkslayer buff, which gives a ton of regen. You can see it, I'm getting 91 HP per second. I go to push the Fredo, but oh, he just gets absolutely massacred by our Violet, just one shot. We're going to make sure that the ARM cannot use her ult on our Violet. You can see she does ult us while we ult. We're going to go ahead and pop heal to make sure our Violet stays healthy and we don't take too much damage as well. Nacroth does survive, but Preda, Talanis, and Arm are all dead. We have the Drake here. We are going to push down this bot tower. It's going to be a pretty free game here. Except Nacroth does come up and kill the dragon, or the Drake rather. He trades his life for it. I don't know how worth that was. Actually, no, that was very worth. It prevents us from pushing down, like with this wave right here. It makes this next situation a little bit more awkward. We do have to dive and make sure that they die, and I ult the ARM while she's ulting the Jinnar, and between my ult and his, the Jinnar does die. My bad, whoops. Sorry, Liu Kang, you know I love you. So we end the game after wiping out 3 of them. This is a pretty fun game. Nothing too crazy. You got some nice pushes, some nice ultimates. Thane has been one of the supports I've played the longest, even though I've taken a big break for him. So it's always kind of nostalgic to start playing him again. I mean, I first started playing Thane on release of this game in NA, so December of 2018. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this game as much as I enjoyed playing it. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. See you.